Afternoon. Thank you. We have Viktor Hovland here joining us here at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Victor, thanks for taking the time. Just want to start off, we've caught up with Scotty on his hand and Jordan with his wrist, so how is your toe?
Toe's good. We're back. It's not hurting. Don't have to tape it up, so should be an easy walk out here.
Perfect. What's it like to be back at a place where you've had much success as an amateur?
Love it. One of my favorite courses in the world, places in the world. Not just the golf course, but outside the golf course. It's just unique. Some good memories winning the U.S. Amateur here, low amateur at the U.S. Open, and this is a place I look forward to come back every year.
We'll keep it short for me. We'll open it up to the media. Raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone over to you. We'll start off with Doug.
Do you think, Victor, people who might be tuning in to watch, do you think they're more intrigued by the field, the stacked competition, or Pebble? Why would you watch if you were at home?
That's a good question. Probably a combination of seeing the best players out here competing at one of the coolest venues in the game of golf. I think it's definitely a combination. Even if you don't maybe follow golf all that much, you get some spectacular views out here that you wouldn't see anywhere else. So I think it's a good combination.
We have Dave.
I know you've been back here a couple times since the amateur, and I can't imagine you've tried the shot again, but have you ever kind of peered over the fourth green down the slope and said, how did I get that ball on the green and do what I did? And how memorable is that shot in your entire career, pro, amateur, whatever?
Yeah, I tried to recreate it a few years ago in a practice round.
Oh, you did?
I just had to go down there. Hit a pretty nice shot to the green. Probably gave myself a little too good of a lie to properly compare it, but yeah, it was a cool memory. I can't not help walking around here and reminiscing old shots and thinking about those memories, because that was it was a pretty big just week for me for my career, and I didn't really believe that me getting here today was possible before that week happened. So that was a pretty big week for me.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, kind of a similar question. It was you won the amateur, and then you tied Jack Nicklaus's scoring record as an amateur in the U.S. Open, and I think you led the field that week in strokes gained off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those weeks gave you more confidence that you could really succeed in this game? Which one was bigger for you?
I'd still say the U.S. Amateur, even though I was competing against other amateurs. It was just giving me opportunities to compete in majors and getting some exemptions into PGA Tour events was cool. And it was even before the U.S. Open. I remember kind of Bay Hill was a big one for me when I made the cut. I think I finished 40th, but I didn't have my best stuff. And I always thought, man, I have to play my absolute best just to kind of make the cut and compete around the weekend. But when I finished 40th and didn't feel like I played well at all, I kind of thought, okay, I got a shot here. And when I showed up at U.S. Open, where I played well in the U.S. Amateur, I was already full in confidence, and the course suits me really well. I was driving it extremely well. Talking to Coach Bratton after the week was over, I don't think I missed a fairway the whole week on the front nine, and I missed maybe 3 or 4 fairways the whole week. So, I was just very confident in my game at that point.
And then you've spoken about this in the past, that you're just kind of a tinkerer by nature. Do you see a scenario in which you ever stick with a coach or an idea for an extended period of time, or do you think just by nature you'll always be searching?
I don't think you should stick to an idea like forever. I think just the idea of sticking to something in perpetuity is not a good way of reasoning. That doesn't show that you have growth or you're constantly trying to improve, which everyone out here is trying to do. Everyone out here is trying to improve. But I might have, I'm very curious by nature, and I like to look under every single stone. And I don't think if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today, because I was never the most talented. I was never the best in my age group growing up. I always had to improve every single year to get to where I'm at today. So I don't think that is the problem in itself. It's just I've made a few poor decisions along the way, and I've kind of learned that lesson now. So I'll probably be a little bit more reluctant to make changes unless I really have good data to support that change. And now I have a better understanding of what I used to do that made me great. So I just, if I'm going to make a change, I'm way more confident in the reasoning behind that, if that makes sense.
So it's not just change to change.
What?
It's not just change to make a change.
No, that's quite irrational, I would say. I'm not that vain. There's always a reason behind what I'm doing. It might not always pan out, but I'm not just messing around just to mess around.
Alan in the back.
Victor, top players have been missing start of this year. The TV ratings have been down. How important is this week to put some energy back into the tour and put on a good show and maybe propel the season forward a little bit?
I mean, I think every week is important. You can't just hope that 1 week out of the year is going to save the rest of the tour. I don't know. But obviously, this is a big event and a great venue, lots of history. We have a great field, so you would expect the ratings to be up there. And if it's not, that's obviously concerning. But I don't know. That's kind of out of my hands. I'll try to play the best I can, and hopefully that it contributes to better rating. But, I'm just kind of here to play my best.
Do you worry at all about sort of these trends on the tour, fan reaction, fan interest? Is that something that players discuss or think about or take ownership of, or you just want to stay in your bubble and just try and post the best scores and not worry about it?
I think we all care. Obviously, we want more guys to pay attention. We want people to be excited about each week, and we want people to be happy about the changes that are made. So I think we all care, but just speaking for myself, I'd say the last few years I've really entered my own bubble a little bit, especially since I haven't played as well as I would have liked. Kind of just withdrawing myself is maybe a little strong word, but like just really controlling the things that I want to focus on, and the stuff that happens outside is just kind of noise to me.
What do you think makes golf interesting?
The game itself, it's so elusive, it's so counterintuitive, yet it looks so simple. So it's just fascinating. It's just problems upon problems upon problems that you have to solve, and I think that's very intriguing. You never solve it, but you can always improve, and you can figure things out along the way.
What do you think makes it interesting to a viewer, either someone behind the ropes or someone in front of their TV?
I guess they know how hard or how difficult it is. So when you watch guys that can do it and make it look so simply, I think that's pretty inspiring, not just in the game of golf, but in any sport. I think that's why we as human beings, we like watching sports, because we look at people who are extraordinary in things that we ourselves suck at. So I think that's just fascinating.
Last thing I wanted to ask you, what do you consider the state of your game right now? Where are you in whatever process you're in?
Yeah, it's not very good, and it's been frustrating. I do feel like I'm making headway, and I'm constantly trying to put the piece of the puzzle together. And even if I'm not seeing results from day to day, which is extremely frustrating, I do feel like I'm learning more. And even if kind of that domino doesn't start to fall today or tomorrow or the next day, I'm hoping the cumulative effect of that knowledge and experience, eventually I'll get over that hump, and we'll turn things around. So right now it's pretty frustrating. This game of golf is, as I said earlier, it's very elusive, it's very counterintuitive, and it's very difficult right now. But I know there's a lot of good golf in me that that will be there in the future and that I've played in the past. So things will turn around soon.
But you don't suck at it.
In my opinion, I suck at it right now, but that's all relative.
Any others?
Yeah.
Perfect. Short and sweet. Thank you for the time,
Sounds good.
Victor.
Yep.